Hello from Indiana, caretakers. This is our first video of our first recipe in my incomplete kitchen. We'll do our best. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to make a couple of desserts. And the first dessert is almond bark. So for this recipe, you don't need very much at all. You need a package of semi-sweet chocolate chips. If you have one of these, a 4-cup cup. Almonds. Parchment paper. And a cookie sheet. This is one of the easiest recipes to do. So first, we take our chocolate chips and we pour them into the cup, and we're going to melt this. But before we do, I'm going to go ahead and get the almonds ready. The almonds should be raw and unsalted, especially for my dad because he can't have salt. So what we're going to do is take a cup of the almonds, put them aside, and we're going to melt the chocolate first. So here we go over to the microwave. And it certainly holds true that depending on the microwave strength, how many minutes you're going to do to cook these, or to melt them, I should say. So I'm going to start with 2 minutes, and then open the microwave, stir it, and see what the consistency is. The consistency should be like a little heavier and thicker than honey. So here we go with the chips into the micro. And I'm going to hit 2 minutes. So there we go. It's melting. While those are melting, I'm going to come back over here and I'm going to take a piece of parchment paper. And I do believe that there is parchment paper living in the little drawers inside the little doorway where all the canned vegetables and cereals are. So what I want to do is just take enough parchment paper to cover my cookie sheet. So I'm going to turn the parchment paper upside down. Kind of tricky because it's rolled. So what I'm going to do is just tuck it under. You shouldn't have this much of a problem because the parchment paper that I have is very wide. I use it for a couple of different things. Okay, so we've had this in the microwave for 1 minute and 30 seconds, and I'm going to check it. So there they are. So I'm pretty sure you can see this. And for 1.5 minutes, it's going to need definitely the rest of that time to melt. So I'm going to finish the 30 seconds. And we'll see what the consistency looks like after the full 2 minutes. You can mix this chocolate with the almonds all in the measuring cup. And if you don't have that measuring cup, I'm sure there's a glass bowl that's big enough to hold this. Okay, I'm pretty sure this is going to be okay at 2 minutes. This microwave is 1150 watts. So, here we go. This is what it looks like. And you see the consistency. Okay. So we know that it's definitely melted really well to the consistency we want. We're going to take our almonds and pour the almonds right into the chocolate. And then we're going to fold those almonds into the chocolate. And this is going to be a little tricky because I have to show you how to pour this onto the cookie sheet using both hands and trying to show you as well. So I'm going to try to turn you around. See if I know how to do, if I had Giovanni here with me, he could tell me how to reverse the video. Didn't work. Okay, so let's try this. I'm gonna put that here. And see how that works. Okay, it's a little hot, so probably not wise to touch the cup. So what we're going to do now is just pour all of this mixture onto the parchment paper. You can probably butter up a cookie sheet and then just put this straight on the cookie sheet. But this should help you break it up a little bit easier being on the paper. So once you have all of that on the cookie sheet, just going to spread it out until it's in a very thin layer. Kind of hard sometimes to do it with the whole almonds. Okay, so the other thing about this recipe is you can use any nut so long as it's unsalted and raw. This recipe, of course, tailored to my mom and dad, but if you're making these kinds of things for yourself, you can use salted nuts. But it actually does taste better with unsalted raw nuts. So there we go. Spread out in a thin layer. And I wish I could lick that, but I'm not going to do that. And then what we're going to do is put this into the refrigerator. And I'm going to let it get cold. The longer you leave it in, of course, the easier it's going to be to break up. So I normally leave it overnight and do it the next day. But if you're really hungry for a dessert, then you can do it after a couple of hours. So here we go. There's the almond bark. And my refrigerator door just closed. Hold on a second. Okay, so here we go. Into the fridge. Nothing in the way, of course. Okay, there we go. Put the pan in. will come back and check it later. So if I can figure out how to continue this video, I will show you how to break down the almond bark.